Thank you very much, and good afternoon to all of you. So my name is Jens Rabe. I'm the CMO of unblu, and I'm joined here today by Javier Puga, our product marketing manager. We have the pleasure today to launch our latest development, which is our secure messaging product that is fully integrated into the unblu 5 suite, where the unblu 5 suite is bringing live collaboration capabilities like co-browsing and video chat to you. Now, what we're launching today is really in the spirit of us providing the vision of an in-person experience online for the banking industry. So the thought behind everything that we do is allow a bank to interact with their clients the exact same way that otherwise you would only interact when you're actually meeting up in person or in a branch. And in that context, what we're launching today is a messaging capability that very much like a WhatsApp-style messenger would bring that capability to you into your banking environment so that you can interact in a very unintrusive way with your clients. So without further ado, let's jump into the demo. For the purpose of the demo, I'm going to be a private banking client, and Javier is going to be my relationship manager. So first off, let's switch to my screen here. And what you see is an online banking application. Now, the benefit of having an online banking application and the messaging capability integrated is that you're already authenticated. And as you jump into your conversations here, you have an inbound conversation. I have a number of conversations that I can have with the bank. Some of those can be generic, but also have an individual conversation that I've got with Javier, who is advising me on all of my wealth matters. So I can jump in this. I actually see that Javier is online, and I can drop Javier a message, basically saying, thanking him for the advice that he provided to me last week. So great advice. So he knows that I'm currently watching and that I'm online.
So I receive a notification in my app, so I have to log in using the fingerprint here that it should be. So here I have my client's application. So hold on, because the position. So I log in and I have all the threads with my customers. I'm going to pick Jens' thread. So I see that he is happy, so I'm happier. So I have a new recommendation for him, so I'm going to ask him if he has some time to talk.
Excellent. And if we switch back to my screen, and then we would see, obviously, his message has been coming in. Do you have time? And I basically tell him that, well, I've got some time this afternoon. I don't have time right now. So how about this afternoon? And so Javier knows that I want to continue the conversation, but I don't have time right now, so he can ping me. Basically, what Javier is going to do, he's going to prepare a proposal for a rebalancing of my portfolio, and he's going to let me know that he's going to prepare all of those materials for me. And as you can see, he's running around with a mobile app. I'm running around with a mobile app because we do recognize that both clients as well as client advisors are very busy. They're not in front of their PC or their machine all of the time, so they do want to have the conversation this way. Now, next step is, as I have time later on for a portfolio review, I would typically do that using my online banking environment. So I would log into my online banking environment, and I've got a nice portfolio overview there. There's lots of products that you've seen throughout the demo environments and the demo sessions that provide wonderful environments. What we believe is that with all the automation and all the presentation in place, the key thing is that I can actually have that conversation on the backdrop of my e-banking environment and my portfolio overview. And ideally, I'd be able to continue the conversation here. So as I jump into the conversation, you can see I've got an omnichannel experience where exactly the conversation I had on the mobile device is also present into my e-banking environment. So I can come back and say, Javi, I'm actually available now.
So I'm receiving now a desktop notification saying that Jens is available now. So I open the chat that I have opened always with him. And because I want him to experience the same experience he would have in an in-person meeting, I'm going to start a video call with him.
So I'm accepting that video call on my end.
So, and now, using the collaboration capabilities that unblu provides, I'm going to join Jens exactly where he is activating co-browsing. So I can see exactly what Jens is seeing right now.
Before you go on, let me just change over here to a different page. So you can see as I'm navigating on my portfolio environment, the relationship manager can see exactly where I am and can continue the conversation and use that as a backdrop for the conversation. You can also highlight individual elements. And what's more, we can now extend that conversation. If we go over to my screen, please. Then we can extend the conversation also with some external resources. So he's prepared some product proposals. Those are available on external websites. He's blending in those external resources, so I can actually see what he's talking about. And mind you, there's no installation whatsoever that is happening on my environment. This is all part of the e-banking. And he can also further lead me through, and he can even share documents with me. So he can drag and drop documents into the conversation. As here, he can even highlight on the documents the parts that he actually does want to highlight. So with that, that's actually quite wonderful. I can have an online consultation remotely. Our customers in the private banking environment telling us that they're having already today 80% of the conversations remotely. And there's no real good way of sharing the information with the clients. This is the perfect way. You're just using the existing investments that you already have in order to have that conversations with your clients. I can now jump back into the thread, as you can see here. I can still see that I'm in a call, so it's very much the same WhatsApp-style experience that you're having. I can say, bye-bye, Javi, thank you very much. I'll give you a shout later in terms of what I'm going to do. And you can see that I've got all the protocol here of the session itself. Now, the protocol, as we all know, there's various regulations that kicked in, like MiFID II. Everything that you do digitally, inclusive of all of the documents and everything that you shared, is right there, and it's right there and documented. It's accessible for the client, and it's documented for the bank. So with that, I'd be closing off this environment, and probably sometime later on, I'd be reviewing the information as it is available on my mobile device, and I can even continue the research that I do, again, with an omnichannel experience on the mobile device. So with that, I'd like to close off the demonstration. We hope you see how unintrusive a client conversation can become and how it can evolve to the moment that the client actually wants to do a transaction. We strongly believe that will significantly yield a higher return for the bank, a lot more transactions, and it's a much nicer experience for the client as they're being available all the time. If you're interested to find out more, please see us at our booth. Thank you so much for your attention.